remember that there's a panel set up in Lagos by the governor of Lagos State, and some of the NSAS protesters have been in a panel for like 2 weeks now or more, and they have been trying to gather evidence as regarding the Lekki massacre that happened on the 20th of October. And a lot of people have been called into the panel to be questioned for one reason or the other. And remember that the Nigerian army was also called in, but they replied first that they were not going to come because they were not being invited by the same person that that invited them to the Lekki toll gate, that until that is done, that they will not respond, that the government of the day have to call them to attend to the panel, not the panel calling them to just come and attend. But somehow they took a rollback and actually decided to attend the panel that is being held in Lagos. And guess what? This is really serious. And they made something. They actually exposed something that Sanwolu of Lagos have actually been keeping very secret, because they said that Sanwolu called, because a Colonel Bello actually said that Sanwolu called me to say that Colonel Bello was shooting at Lekki. Then that was a general that tells the Lagos State panel. It is another general that is telling the Lagos State panel that is inquiring about the massacre at the Lekki toll gate, that Sanwo-Olu called him to say that Colonel Bello, who is this Colonel Bello, who is he and why did he open fire on NSAS protesters or peaceful NSAS protesters? Yes, let's find out and see what all of this is all about. But please, before then, if you have not subscribed to this channel, ensure you hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell, because that is the only way you get notified anytime we drop a new video. Okay, guys, let us dive right in and see what this colonel has to say and why he say that he called the governor of the state that a particular army is shooting at NSAS protesters. Yes, the Commander 9 Brigade Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Musa Esu Ndagi, representing the Nigerian Army on the Lagos State Security Council, has said he received a phone call from the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, around 7:23 p.m. on October 20, 2020, informing him that a certain Lieutenant Colonel Bello was reportedly shooting at the Lekki toll gate where NSAS protesters were gathered. Etsu Ndagi said he immediately called Bello, who is the commanding officer, 65 Battalion, Bonny Camp, Victoria Island, and he, Bello, told him that they only fired blank ammunition into the air. Etsu Ndagi, who is one of the top 4 military officers listed as witnesses of the Nigerian Army before the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry probing the Lekki toll gate shooting, stated this in a statement on oath filed at the panel's registry on Friday. The top Nigerian Army officers insisted that soldiers never shot at or killed anyone, and there was no massacre at the Lekki toll gate on the night of October 2020. They vehemently denied using live ammunition on the NSAS protesters who gathered at the toll gate, adding that soldiers did not take any dead bodies away. Bello said the protesters were in fact happy to see the soldiers at the toll gate, adding that he personally offered the protesters water and drinks while persuading them to go home and observe the 24-hour curfew declared by the state government. The other army officers who deposed to witness statements before the panel are Commander of 81 Military Intelligence Brigade, Victoria Island, Lagos, Brigadier General Ahmed Taiwo, the Chief of Staff, 81 Division, Nigeria Army, VI, Lagos, Brigadier General Nsikak Edet, Commander, 81 Division Garrison, VI, Brigadier General Francis Omata, specifically Omata and Bello, told the panel that by the time they arrived at the toll gate, the protest had turned from peaceful to violent. They said on arrival at the toll gate, they were being pelted with stones and broken bottles, and that in response all they did was fire blank ammunition into the air to disperse the crowd. Omata said on arrival at the toll gate at about 7:30 p.m., I met a rowdy situation. I also met the commanding officer 65 Battalion, Mr. Bello, who briefed me on the situation. He briefed me that he met a hostile crowd, hoodlums mixed with the protesters who were chanting and throwing stones at them. I was able to disperse the crowd by firing blank ammunition into the air. At this point, stones and sticks were being thrown at us. Then I moved to a safe area and briefed General Officer Commanding 81 Division Major General Godwin Ahamefuma Omelo by phone. The General Officer Commanding directed me to pacify the hostile crowd and move the troops back to base. However, the crowd still continued chanting "EndSARS." I then instructed the troops to withdraw to base. Giving his own account of the incident, Bello said, while he was moving towards the Lekki-Ajah Express at around 6:45 p.m., he heard gunshots before the toll gate, and on coming down, he saw that the crowd had turned from peaceful protesters to a mob infiltrated by hoodlums. He said on getting to the toll gate, I persuaded the crowd to go home and observe the 24-hour curfew declared by the state government, but surprisingly the hoodlums continued throwing stones, bottles and other dangerous objects at us and were burning tires. I again fired some blank ammunition upwards to scare the hoodlums away, but some protesters who were still at the toll gate sitting down quietly were given water and drinks by me while pleading with them to go home. Bello stressed that we did not fire at the protesters. Blank ammunition were fired upward to scare the hoodlums from the crowd. Nobody was shot dead at the Lekki toll gate. There was no massacre as claimed. The claim the military took away dead bodies was not true. The protesters were happy to see us as indicated in some of the video clips of the 20th October 2020. The sitting of Lagos State Panel of Judicial Inquiry probing the alleged shooting of EndSARS protesters at the Lekki tollgate was frustrated on Saturday due to the absence of the two youth members of the panel, Oluwarinu Oduala and Temitope Majekodunmi. Oduala, who is one of the promoters of the EndSARS protest, failed to show up for the Saturday sitting in protest against the freezing of her bank account by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It was also gathered that the CBN obtained a court order freezing the accounts of 20 EndSARS promoters till January 2021. One of those affected was Oduala. The chairman of the Judicial Retired Justice Doris Okuwobi said the panel had no other option but to suspend Saturday's sitting as it could not form a quorum in the absence of the two youths. Justice Okuwobi said, we are confronted with a situation which prevented her, Oduala, from coming. We do not know if the two youth representatives will eventually pull out. We don't want a situation where proceedings would go on and later it's impugned and controversy for lack of quorum. Justice Okuwobi stressed that it was important for all the sittings of the panel to be held in accordance with the law. In all matters, we have to wait for them, the youth representative, to join us. Without them, we are handicapped, she said. So, guys, you can see that a lot of lies are in this. How will Nigeria move forward? What is the way forward exactly? Because we seem not to understand what is really happening. Please drop your comment and tell us what you think about all of this. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.